Hello, my name is Josh, and I'm Watchaholic. Welcome to Horology Insanity.
What is up, my watch friends? So, check this out. This is my continuation of my Zelos State of the Collection, which should have been a video, but I have far too many Zelos, and so it turned into a 3-part series. Yeah, for real, y'all. It's insane. It's insane. But I love it. I love everything about it. And y'all know I love some Zelos. So yeah, I've got on the crimson red black tip. This thing sold out in minutes, like many of them do. This thing is fantastic, and this is one of my favorite Zelos to wear. So one of these days when I actually narrow down which one of these are going to be keepers and which ones I'm going to sell, this one I'm pretty sure is going to be a keeper. What do y'all think? I love it. I adore it. Okay. But with that, let's just take a look at, this is part 2 of the series. So if you haven't seen my part 1 video, then we're going to link that up in the upper right hand corner of this. And I'd recommend to go and check it out. And basically, I've decided that I'm going to showcase the watches by their style or model. That's the best way that I can do it. And so I do have one more tray of watches sitting behind me that, if I'm not mistaken, are all swordfish. Like, I've got a whole tray of just swordfish. But anyway, the first video, you'll see that I went through my hammerheads and the horizons and a couple of others. And so now we're getting into this box, which is predominantly Makos and a couple of other things. But yeah, so I've got the black tip. We'll start it out with that. These two right here, I'll pull up, and as you can see, I just pulled my watch box out. And there's probably going to be dust because these things kick up a bunch of dust. But these are Ventus Northstars, and the Ventus is kind of a sister brand to Zelos. Elshin is part of that as well. He's part of a handful of brands, and y'all hear me say it again. I think just about everything Elshin touches is gold. It is absolute gold, and these are no exception. These Ventus Northstar, I backed them on Kickstarter just out of curiosity. Turns out I adore them. I love them on wrist. They wear fantastic, and they're just right. I like the overall aesthetic. The dials are so pleasant. This bronze green one right here is one of my wife's favorites, and she doesn't even like watches, but she likes the look of this one. I've got it on this leather. I think I got it from Gekoda, Watch Gecko, the strap. So I've got it on this. It's the brass. It's my only brass cased watch. And it's funny that I've come to learn that I don't love bronze, even though you're going to see I have several bronze watches. I don't love bronze, but for whatever reason, I really, really like the aesthetic of this brass one. And then additionally, I've got this gray one, and I think the thing I love about this one so much is the blue accent. In fact, I picked up, again, another Watch Gecko strap. I picked up this gray and blue strap to kind of pull out the accents of this one. And I really enjoy these. I'm pretty sure these are going to be keepers. Can't say highly enough how good these Ventus watches are. So I know everybody kind of knows that Zelos are amazing. The other ones are pretty good too. I've got friends of mine who's got, what is it, like the Moray? They love that. There's a bunch of them out there. But yeah, moving on, this is the Visionary V1. So this is one of the OG Zelos. This is like back in the day, one of the ones Elshin created. It was meant to be kind of a dress watch. And so he's got it on this leather with the Zelos sign to point clasp. Got the Salida, I believe it's the Salida SW200 movement. But this thing is amazing. And what caught me with this when I first got it, it's the same reason why I love, my favorite watch. We'll get to that here in a minute. But it's the Meteorite with the blue accents that I like so much. I'm borrowing my buddy's Meteorite Nova. It's got this similar aesthetic, but I really, really like the gray with the blue hands and indices. And so yeah, the Visionary V1 had that. And you can see the texture in the dial. The sun hits this in the light, and it's just beautiful. So there's that one. I mean, while I'm holding them up, let's go ahead and do the Skyraiders. I've got two. This is the titanium, and I'm not shy to say this is my all-time favorite Zelos. This is it right here. These are keepers. I love them. I love them both, even though I will say I'm partial to this Meteorite one, only because Meteorite is just, in my opinion, like a Zelos staple. So they might not be the first one to do it, and I'm sure they won't be the last, but in my opinion, they're the best. They really are. Zelos Meteorite is where it's at. So you see, I've got these two. Really, really enjoy these. And so more Skyraiders. They're fantastic. Sticking with the aviation style theme, and sorry if I'm delayed. I want to make sure that I don't scratch these watches as I put them back in here. But sticking with the aviation theme, we're now going to go to the ZX series of watches. And these are just fantastic. So they make these in both, I'll pull these two up first. They make these in both a quartz and an automatic. And so these are both the Seiko Mechaquartz. I think it's the VK63 movement. You'll see on the left again, I'm a sucker for the Meteorite with the blue. This is another example. Meteorite with the blue accents. This is titanium. So these are both titanium. They come on a bracelet. I have this one on the leather right now. This is the bracelet that it came with. And you see this one is still mummy wrapped. So I get a handful of my watches. Again, I can't wear all of these. So I keep them kind of in unworn condition or keep them wrapped up. So these are a couple of those. This is the black dial. And this one's actually really cool. Let's do a loom shot because the sub dials light up on this. Oh yeah. Oh, let me see if I can get that to refocus in the background. Oh, Zelos Loom is amazing. I always say that, but yeah, so here's what we're looking at. This is beautiful. I love the way that the sub dials do. My custom one in the background that we're going to look at next also has the Loom sub dials. So these are fun and they're great to wear. It's the same case as the Swordfish, by the way. Elshin kind of gave us a hint. He started designing this case by using the Swordfish case, but he did it in titanium and then he turned it into a chronograph is basically what he did. And so, yeah, we'll take this one out real quick because this is the automatic version. So again, the other ones were Mechaquartz. This, though, has the beautiful Valjoux 7750 chronograph. And it is stunning. Now, I will say, for those who know, the Valjoux 7750 is not a small movement. And so this is kind of a chunky monkey, but it's so worth it. I've been looking at the Zen chronographs as well, because, you know, I've got some Zen 104s and I love them. And so, but they are also thick like this. And I'm always just worried when I wear it that I'm going to bang it on a wall or a doorknob or something like that. And y'all know how I am with things and scratches, but this one is sweet. Titanium case. This is a custom 1 of 1 made by Elshin that I was lucky enough to get my hands on. I got it from Elshin, but you'll notice that these in the background, the ZX series did not come with a day-date complication. So even though the Valjoux 7750 does have that option, so he made 2 custom one-offs. I own one, and Dane, aka Mr. Zelos, aka Celine Driver, his channel name on YouTube is Celine Driver, he owns the other custom ZX. And Dane is as much of a Zelos addict as I am, and he adores them. So go check out his channel. You'll see plenty of Zelos on there, and I know he's done some state of the collection videos as well. But he's got the other one. You can see here at the 3 o'clock position, there is a cutout for the day date, and that is a custom feature. Like I said here, you know, the case back for whatever reason is Hong Kong edition, but it's not serial numbered. It's not anything like that. This is just a one-off that Elshin made. But that blue dial, I love this blue dial. And y'all know I am a sucker for blue in general. So just as much as I'm a sucker for this Meteorite with the blue accents, no, this blue dial, this is definitely, this should be my favorite watch. I know I love the Skyraider, but this 1 of 1, this really should be. But it's so hard when you got so many that you love. It's really hard to say which one, you know, is the one. Because I couldn't, there's no way I could narrow down my Zelos connection to just one. There's no way. All right, so with that said, I'll put that over here to the side so I can keep on trucking along. The last ones that I'm going to go are this top row. These are my Mako series. And so we'll start it off. This is a V1 Mako, and you could tell that by the smaller crown here. And the V1 Mako in the blue with the Helical pattern. And so we'll start off here with that. This was not actually my first Zelos, but it was a Mako. We'll get into that in just a second. I also have the V1 Meteorite dial, and I have it on the bracelet here, so you can see that. You can kind of go back and see the iterative improvements that Zelos has made, and one of the most common examples is looking at the clasps. And y'all will know that if you know anything about microbrands, these clasps were all the rage for a little while because they do not, in addition to just opening them up with the 2 button pushers, they have this on the fly adjustment with this diver's extension. And so when your wrist swells, like again, I say the new Zelos clasp, it has on the fly micro adjust, and every watch should have that as a standard. In fact, I want to start seeing that on NATO straps, and what's the company? Formax is doing that with their deployant clasps now, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Every class should have that because our wrists, right? They swell and they shrink. And so this was it. But look at how big of a hunk of metal this thing is. This is the opposite of like sleek and smooth. But this is what all the micro brands were using. And sure enough, Elshin was as well. And so, yeah, don't love that. Like, it's funny, you've got this beautiful and elegant watch. You have this nice smooth bracelet. And then you've got this giant brick of a clasp. Oh man. But I guess again, I can look at that and laugh and enjoy the new clasps all the more when I see kind of where they came from right there. So, all right, let's keep on going here. This watch right here. So I said I'm not a fan of bronze in general, or I guess I say I've learned that, because this bronze with the blue Meteorite dial was my first Zelos. So let's just get zoomed in. This is the watch right here that started me down this rabbit hole, and I've loved every minute of it. This bronze blue Meteorite, the texture, you get it out in the sun and you start to see just the pops of texture. It's so sweet. This right here is what did it all. Let me know down in the comment section, what was your first Zelos? And was that the one that hooked you? Because, for example, this one hooked me, and then, I don't know, I've got like 50 of them now, and so I'm totally hooked. But yeah, if it wasn't your first one that hooked you, at what point did you know you wanted more Zelos? I'm curious. Next one, here's another bronze one. And this one, I've contemplated with parting ways with it, but it was very unique. It was the first time Elshin did a dial like this, and I think it's the only time he's done it other than like the red variant of this in the Hammerhead 3, and then he's got the new orange in the Hammerhead 3. Burgundy dial. It's got the whirlpool kind of helical style guilloche pattern to it. If you zoom in, you can really start to see the texture pattern. This is a much finer texture than some of my others, and so I'll do another video maybe where I just show the different guilloche patterns of the watches. I'll have to make a note of that. But yeah, this is the Burgundy. Of course, it's the bronze case, but oh, look at that. I've got some patina forming on there. I might have to look at that because I don't even wear this watch. So I'm curious about that now that I'm looking at it. All right, so I'll check that out, maybe give it a lemon juice bath or something like that. But here we go. And is it weird to have a bunch of Zelos and not wear them? I can't wear them all. Well, I don't know. I got like 400 watches. So, I mean, one every day, and I still can't wear them all in a year. Here we go. This next one is a special one for me because it was a collaboration that Adamas did with Zelos, and it is a V3 Mako, and on the V3 bracelet it does come with that new class that I talked about with the micro adjust that I think all of them should have. It's awesome to see, like I said, the iterative improvement. Look how sleek that is, and this has the micro adjust in it. It has everything else that other one did. But anyway, this one I got because, one, I wanted to support a friend of mine and who was involved in this collaboration, but also it was this Sodalite dial. So let me get in on here real quick. And I asked for a very blue one, and thankfully I got that. But in general, these are a stone dial, and every single one of them is unique and different. And so I'll try to throw up maybe a couple of pictures of what I have of some other ones. And in fact, if you look at my old videos, I have one that I got in on loan that had a different dial than this one. This is my personal one that I bought. And you can just see it here. It's a beautiful shade of blue, but the stone on that, it's got some texture and some striations in it. And I think that that's really cool. I will say that a couple of beefs that I have with this one, and I've left this one mummy wrap too. This is kind of an unworn one. I wish it had a black bezel, and I wish the Adamas logo down there at the 6 o'clock wasn't so pronounced. Because what happens is you look at this and you don't see the Zelos, you end up thinking it's upside down, and then you do like that and you're like, no, it's not. I mean, not to say that you couldn't set your watch upside down and wear it this way. Technically it'll still keep time, I think, but that's the only couple of little nitpicky things on that. But this watch is so sweet. The Mako V3 series with the thinner case and the 9000 series movement is fantastic. And yeah, you just won't find Sodalite in a bunch of options. So it's kind of like the Aventurine, you know, you just can't get it, but in a few watches. So the last couple that I have here, these are more Mako V3s, all in stainless steel. This one is the Meteorite, and I've also left this one kind of unworn, and you see it's still wrapped. This one was special because it was the first time Elshin ever included like a not normal bezel, meaning a Meteorite bezel. He has since included carbon fiber bezel, and he's doing sapphire bezels in some of those. He's got Meteorite in these. Of course, he's still doing ceramic in others. He's doing just the normal stainless steel and bronze ones. But this is the one that started it off for Zelos. And again, you'll see my love for the gray Meteorite with the blue accents. This watch is such a stunner. This is the one watch in my collection that I'm torn on whether or not I want to wear it. And the reason is because maybe it's weird, but I like that it's unworn. I like just to be able to look at it and know that it is mint. It is absolutely mint. And so, yeah, I don't know. Tell me down in the comments, is that weird? Do y'all have watches that you don't wear purposefully and that you just collect? Because I do. I've got some I wear. I've got some I don't. So, all right, let's keep on going. This is another unworn. This is the Whirlpool Teal dial. It's got that blue, beautiful helical pattern, kind of like the Burgundy one did. If I zoom in, you can see the really fine texture there with the color match date wheel. V3 Mako. And then actually we're going to get to the last one. We're going to end on one of my favorites, the Frost Mako V3, black indices, but those are loomed out, black ceramic bezel. I love the pop of blue in the text there and in the second hand. And then from a recommendation of somebody in the Zelos Timekeepers group, I got this black and white Barton silicone strap that is an absolutely perfect pairing for this watch, in my opinion. And yeah, this one too. Let's do a quick loom shot. Boop. Full loom dial, like most of Zelos Frost dials are. And this watch is just fantastic. But honestly, I don't, some people love the Frost dials because they're full loom, but for me, I actually like the daytime aesthetic of this one. But with that one, we'll call this one to a wraps. We've got one more to go. In the last one, well, it's the last one of this series, but it's all swordfish. Can you believe, like, how insane is my hobby that I can do a state of the collection video of just Zelos swordfish? And that video is probably going to be 15-20 minutes long because I just got them piled up. Just piled up. I love them. Love them, love them, love them. All right, y'all. Which one of these is your favorites? The one I showed in the video. And do y'all like the Meteorite with the blue accents as much as I do? that was a staple for Zelos for a long time, and he's not doing it as much anymore because, you know, he's constantly trying to change things up and do things fresh, you know, like popping in a red dial, and he's offering different options. But yeah, which one is your favorite? All right, my friends, until we talk again, please remember what really matters, and that's not watches. Keep the insanity sane.